Good morning, people. Today I'm basically going to ride to the Exxon station route. So for this time I'm actually planning on going by the Exxon station and checking out the road that's a little bit further down. So I started it a little bit later, the camera, so that I would have about the same amount of time. I might record it on the way back too, so then I would have 2 days if I do that, but we'll see. Going downhill, I get to go 21 miles per hour. Woohoo! Morning. Since the last time I'd done a video, I had gotten a flat. Actually, when I was in the park, which ended last video, yeah, I got a flat there. So I got to practice doing my flat fixing stuff on the road. So always learning stuff, apparently. You can't just really rest much with a bike. There's a lot of maintenance in my first 117 miles. So I had practiced how I would work on a flat if it was very minor, and depending on where it was located at too, without taking off my front tire. And this happened to be a flat that I got stabbed with a safety pin, of all things. And this safety pin, which apparently was not very safe, gave me the exact location where I had the puncture. And not a very big puncture at that. So fixing that, it turned out the location where it was at was a location I could actually do something with. And so I sat down to repair it. Now, if you remember, if you happen to watch that, the temperature was above 100 degrees at the time. It was 101 when I started. So I'm not sure what it was by the time I got the flat. But the flat was definitely not a pleasant experience. A lot of sweating involved, a lot of groaning and moaning. We did not get any of that on tape. Probably wouldn't want to see that stuff. Some people probably would like to see the suffering of another human, but it was probably about as easy as a flat you could possibly have on the road, since it was a front tire and it was far enough away from the stem that I was able to not have to remove my tire in order to fix it. Although I did have the tools with me, I could remove the tire. That wouldn't have been a problem. It just would have been that much longer. Because I really, how to get my tire off, how do I set everything up? It seems complicated. I didn't really practice how to do that without a repair stand. Anyway, the flat was fixed. I became a more experienced bike rider. Well, pretty much every time I go out on the road, I get more experience. I learn to ride a little better, learned how to handle traffic a little better, although it's still very scary, but a little better. Oh, whoops. I was interested in trying this main road up here, but I don't think I'll do that. I don't think I'm quite ready for it. So we'll turn around. Get back to my regular speed. So it seems like every time I have a video, I've had another issue that needs to be solved. Now I had just bought flat out, and I received it the day before my trip, but I didn't spend the time getting it into the bike. That may have solved me from having a flat and all that pain. Unsure, probably would have. So since then, I've added flat out to front and rear tires. Come on, squirrel, quit causing trouble. Squirrel trying to take me out. So, well, hopefully that'll help some. Maybe I'll want to change that many more flats. However, I did have a little bit of trouble when I was trying to do the add the flat out to the tires. It wanted me to put it in a quarter of this bottle. Except my strength ran out before I could get a quarter of a bottle out of it. I could not get a quarter of the bottle, so yeah, maybe I'm not protected as much as I should be. It says squeeze the bottle, hold it upside down, squeeze the bottle. But after 5 minutes of squeezing, my squeezer says I'm not squeezing anymore. So we ended up with however much I could get in there in 5 minutes. Which was less than a quarter. Maybe I was doing it wrong. It seems like you should have been able to get a quarter of this bottle in there in 5 minutes of squeezing, but yeah, I couldn't. But it's probably better than nothing, although it could be wrong. Maybe if you're less than a quarter, it does no good at all. It seems like I'm on the wrong road. Good morning. I was going by memory for the most part. So anyway, my bike changing experience was very sweaty, but not very hard. It was very sweaty, hot. Changing a bike tire at 101 degrees heat index is not something I would recommend doing. It'd be better to do it like a day-to-day when it's like 75. That'd be a much better time to do it. But I guess you could say part of that fault was my own, because I did get the flat out in, just did not spend the time putting it into the bike. All right. All right, so that was one problem I had. Another problem I've been having, you know, slowly been working through all the different problems I have. You know, there's a chance I had taken this to a bike shop to start with, and they fixed everything on my bike. I wouldn't have some of the problems I had. But another problem I had was my back fender was touching my tire. and would therefore make noise. And I thought maybe it'd quit doing it, but it never did. It was always there. Some people may have heard that tire making noise in some of the videos. So I decided it's time to try to do something about it. And when the bike came, there was wow, look at all the dogs. 5 of them. So when the bike came, it came with fenders already installed on the back wheel. So I decided that the bent I don't know what you call it. The metal piece that was holding the tire on was bent, and I assumed it was bent intentionally. And I looked at it and I said, yeah, it's awful close to the tire, but it's not touching the tire, so maybe this is the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, so after all this scraping happened, I went to go look at pictures of my bike on Aventon's website, and I looked at pictures of other people building the bike. Morning. And came to the conclusion that it's not supposed to be bent, but it frequently gets bent in shipping. So people probably need to realize that it shows up bent, but it should not be bent. So I don't know, they maybe should do packing better. Because I watched 4 different people assemble the Aventon Venture, and all 4 had bent metal piece holding the fender on. So, and all 4 of them straightened it out. Or I did not. I decided differently than them. When they said, hey, this is obviously wrong, we're going to straighten it out, I went, well, this is the way it came, it must be right. Yeah, so I guess I was too trusting. But straightening it out moved the fender like an inch further away from the tire. So yeah, it doesn't scrape the tire anymore. So another problem solved. So, you know, slowly I'm making all the problems go away. Like I said, a lot of these problems could have been solved had I taken it to a bike shop and had them fix everything to start with. But then again, I would not know as much as I do. I now know how to do all sorts of things, including how to unbend a bent aluminum piece. It's not something I normally do as an accountant. I know my first method was totally wrong, which was to grab a hold of the metal piece, find a hammer, and whack it. Yeah, that didn't work at all. It turned out what works better is just using muscle and bend it back into straight shape. That worked a whole lot better. Now, who would have known that muscle would have been better than a hammer? But in this case, it was. I don't know, some of you are probably laughing at that, saying it's obvious, but yeah, it wasn't obvious to me. I don't know anything about this type of stuff. I know more now, but didn't know that then. So that was 2 things since last time. Had to fix flat and fix my tire rubbing against my fender. Thirdly, I was watching a Russ is Right, and he mentioned that a girl had fallen off a bike and got a head injury. My first thought was that she should have been wearing a helmet. It turned out that she was wearing a helmet. And I was like, what's with that? Defective helmet? So I started researching defective helmets and troubles. And it turned out there was probably a higher probability that the helmet was just not put on correctly. You would think you just stick the helmet on your head, strap it down, and you're done. At least that's what I thought. Yeah, that's not the answer. It turns out that you need to fit the helmet a little bit more. And it needs to be in a specific spot on your head. It just can't be anywhere. So if you're going to go through all the trouble of putting a helmet on your head, I decided it'd be a good idea to learn how to do it correctly. I was thinking I probably wouldn't learn anything because, you know, tighten it down, get in it so it's kind of centered, tighten a little bolt in the back. Doing all those things probably would make it actually work. But turns out that's only part of the solution. Actually, the exact spot it is on your head determines whether it protects your head. So even though you could get all the rest of that part right, if you miss that part, yeah, you're still going to get injured. So go figure on that. So anyway, I learned how to put it in the right spot on top of my head. So I would recommend everybody learn how to do those things. All right, so wonder how long it's going to take for they fix this sidewalk. Hey. All right, this is where walker people go, so I guess I'll go. So we're making it through here and going to take the route here. Looks kind of safe. It's a lot less traffic this early in the morning. So I'm not doing a video on how to do the put on your helmet correctly, but there are a few good ones out there. So if you're in doubt, yeah, watch some how to put on your helmet, even though it sounds silly. Hey, look at this. They fixed the crosswalk sign. Last time we came here, it was slaughtered. Okay, I need to go slower. There. I haven't had to adjust my derailleur since I fixed it, so I must have done a good job. So I'm going to congratulate myself on doing that. First time I had to work with a derailleur. Now I'm a little confused about where I'm supposed to be here. I thought I needed to go down there. No, maybe it's the next one. A little hard to figure out where I need to go here. This is my first time in this area. Last time we turned back there. But I was looking at the map and decided that eventually I'm going to end up on this road right here. So instead of cutting through all those parking lots, let's see how I would get to it from this way. So far it's not necessarily better, but it's a little bit dangerous. My mirror did tell me that car was coming, so that was something. But in this case, I'm basically on my own. Alright, so I made those 2 roads correctly. I still got to make more. I'm not sure what that big truck's going to do. Alright, and so now I can get on this. Alright, let's see what my Garmin does, if it ever decides to catch up with me. I'm not sure. Anyway, me looking at the map said I needed to go down here. So I'm going to go down here and hope this turns out to be good. Now I can take the, last time when I got turned around here, it was out, they had me going through this Costco parking lot. And that's when I turned around. I was thinking, surely I'm not supposed to go there. But it turns out I was. And it was sending me across that parking lot to get on this road. So I like the route I took a little bit better. But I now have to spend some time on this road here, which I'm a little bit worried on. All right, so let's get up as fast as I can go. Alright, supposed to be going to Tawny Road, which is probably this next intersection. Still no car behind me, so far so good. Is this the road? Probably. It has no sign though, so I don't know. Alright, let's slow back down. Now I'm kind of going to be on this neighborhood road the rest of the time, which looks a little safer. The advantage of leaving early in the morning is the fact that I can travel the roads and have less traffic. Also, during this time of the season, it's much cooler, a whole lot cooler. Let's see, how's my battery doing? 92. I haven't tested my battery yet to find out how far I can go. This trip is going to take me 10 miles there and 10 miles back. So that'll be a 20-mile trip. All right, so it wants me to turn here. There's no signs on these roads. What's with this place? Hey, some of these houses are built out of wood. It's kind of cool. It's like a log cabin there. See it? Interesting. I guess it's a concept that they're all trying to mimic through this area. I kind of like it. It's different. Got a lot of trees in here. It's a pretty place. Of course, we're right close to the forest. I don't know how close we are now, but we're very close. Like maybe a quarter of a mile. Even though we can't see it yet. Oh, here comes a car. All right, thank you. Okay, so what I want to do is figure out how to cross this road now. I'm not sure my best options. Well, it looks like I have a middle road for part of this. I'm not sure if it's far enough. So let's start up on here. Let's see if I can take this middle road for a bit. Well, right there might be the entrance. It says it's a state forest. All right, so it says that it's okay to enter here. All right, so here we are at the park. All right, let's look and see what the thing says. Keep to the trails, don't take shortcuts. Go right through, I guess they don't want you to start. Stay off wet trails. No unauthorized camping. Oh, there's the bicycle rules. Bicycle rules. Helmets are required. Yield to foot traffic. Okay, that makes sense. Use caution when overtaking others. Makes sense. Make your presence known, which have a bell for that. Bicycles permitted on designated trails only. Maintain a safe speed. No riding at night. Yeah, I don't think I want to ride at night, but I'm sure people would be doing that. All right. So this is interesting. All right, that car's leaving. All right, so this is finished. Let's see where this here goes. Okay, this is a service road. Do not enter. And this is a what? This parking closes at 4:30. All gates close at 4:30. And I guess they haven't opened again yet. It looks like you have a place for a bicycle to go through, though. you'll have to have a parking permit, which I'm not planning on parking, but okay. So I learned a lot about this. Let's see if we can get this here to do a U-turn for me. I mean, that may not even be. Go ahead. Morning. Looks like a lot of people were here and continue to be here. Alright, so is this the right road? Yeah, I believe so. Alright. And we start our trail back. That was a fun trip. So I'll probably not record much of this trip back. However, I still got a couple updates I want to give you, so let's talk about those while we enjoy the ride back. Hopefully you can see some of these houses. Kind of nice. Different structures. They're built differently than most of the houses I've run across. So I guess they got a unique look. So another thing that I had done is that the receiver on my car, I didn't have one. So I went to U-Haul to get a receiver put onto my car. I figured that would be fairly simple. I needed a 2-inch receiver because everything kept saying it needed a 2-inch receiver. And they didn't want one that was converted. So that meant that I needed to get a 2-inch receiver whose normal life is a 2-inch receiver. So I go there and ask for that, and they said they don't have one for my car. They said they do have a different one, and they could put an attachment onto it, and then it'd be 2, but they don't have a 2. So I said, no, that's not going to work. All these things are telling me I need to have a 2-inch one, and not one that has an attachment. So I can't do that. I don't want to start off with extra problems before it even starts, so I'm going to try to follow instructions. I'm not mechanically inclined, so trying to figure out how to get everything to work properly on the wrong receiver is not something I would want to do, or even try to figure out how to do. So I complained and yelled bummer and drats, a bunch of other cuss words, and started to leave. And as I started to leave, the guy said, however, if you look on the internet and you find a replacement, we'll put it on for you. I go, oh, well, that's something. Of course, finding anything might be a big problem. Might be impossible. I don't have any idea, but I did want to at least look. So I went to etrailers.com, and they had a receiver that said it was made for my bike. Whether that was true or not, with truth in advertisement lately and all my issues, I had decided that probably is not true. They're probably lying to me. But I ordered it anyway. That's my life. I don't trust people, but got to do it anyway, because otherwise you get nothing. So it showed up yesterday, and I went to the U-Haul place, and they said, hey, our guy's not working today. I was thinking, well, I'm not surprised. Nothing's been working out too well for me. They said, however, here's the guy's phone number. You can give him a call and find out when he's planning on working again. So I gave him a call, and he said he was on his way to work. I said, really? He goes, yeah. And I said, well, I'm trying to look at a trailer. And he said, well, let me get to work and see if I have any time. So he came to work and said, well, I can do it right this second. And I said, okay, here, do it. And so it took him like, I don't know, 30 minutes. Didn't take him that long. It might have been 40 minutes, but much faster than I thought. I probably thought it'd take a couple hours. But it didn't take him long at all. And he said it's perfect fit. He didn't have any trouble at all. And I was thinking, yay, e-trailers tell the truth. It's nice to have somebody that tells the truth every now and then. Even if it's just occasionally. I still like hearing the truth. I guess I need to, I don't know, I need to do something different than what I'm doing. So anyway, I got a receiver put on my car. I was a bit excited about that, because with the receiver, I then can spend $1,000 and get a bike rack. Okay, so I wasn't the most thrilled person about spending $1,000 for a bike rack. So people had left me some comments in chat about some bike racks that were available that were actually pretty reasonable, but they were motorcycle racks, technically, not bicycle racks. But they could hold 400 pounds and not like 80 pounds like the most I could find that was available in a bicycle rack. So I said, well, you know, I found one that was $100. I was thinking, well, if it works, I save $900. If it doesn't work, I just spent $100 for no reason. But hey, today my luck was holding out. So I figured, while I have luck, now is the day to take a risk and order a motorcycle rack. And I did. It'll be here Wednesday. So I got a few days. Or at least so they say, be here Wednesday. The bad news about that is it doesn't come assembled. I got to assemble it. So, bummer. Not something I'm looking forward to doing. I did watch a guy who bought the same rack. However, he had a shop. And he said he could put it together in less than 30 minutes. Although he didn't show us how he did that. So I figure if somebody knows what they're doing, can do it in 30 minutes, I can do it, what, 4 hours? And that's probably after I take it apart a couple of times and reassemble it, because I put it together wrong. We'll see how good the instructions are. If I can do it the first time, then good instructions. I had to give them a grade A. If it takes 3 or 4 tries, yeah, they're not going to get an A rating in instructions. Great. Ow. Yeah, I knew that was going to hurt, and it did. So it'll be interesting. Once I get it, I'll be able to go somewhere without having to put my bike in a SUV. And I think I'll like that. All right. We can cross, it looks like. All right, now just try to avoid getting hit by anything. I think I'll slow down, going faster than I want to go. All right, slower, slower, slower. All right, let's see, no cars. All right. Yeah, I need to get to a lower gear. That one's way too high. All right, there we go. So that's something new. So once I get that, I'll have other type of options. We'll probably get a video of me going on the Sandy Trail, which was where I got my flat. So I don't look kindly at that trail, but I'm going to consider that's a fluke. That's not going to happen again, because there were a lot of bicycles there, and I didn't see anybody else with a flat. I actually enjoyed being there with all the bicycle people. Everybody wanted to come by and talk about my bike, and they wanted to tell me about their bikes and stuff. And since I hadn't even seen a bike rider, I think I've seen two. One waved to me, the other one just totally ignored me when I waved. Stuck-up bike rider. But I hadn't run across any of those before. So, but here at this park, everybody was friendly. There was not an unfriendly soul in the group. They're all friendly. They all wanted to talk about their bikes and what they've done and what I've done. And, you know, I'm thinking I hadn't done anything. I just bought a bike. so I didn't have as much to talk about. But it was still interesting. I had a good time talking to them. It's nice to find somebody that you have things in common with. There's also in the plans, I have actually sat down and planned it. I don't know if I'll do it. But I actually planned a multi-day trip. Not riding a bike a lot a day. I'm mainly going to go fishing. And I was thinking, you know, I could probably take my bike fishing and then spend 4 hours riding my bike to get to a new location, and then not camping, but staying in a hotel, but fishing in the lake that's there in the area. So I mapped out a couple of ways to do that. So that's at least a possibility once I get mobile. I don't know if I'll do that. I have to figure out how to carry all the things I need to carry on my bike. And I'm a little bit worrisome of how many days could I go 4 hours a day riding. I'm not really that I don't believe I have the ability to do that many days. But once you're out there, you have to come back. So I had looked at a different route that's up in the Greenville area. And that route had several places to stay along the route. and it circles. So about every 10 miles, well, maybe a little more than 10 miles, 12 to 15 miles, you're back at the beginning. So you could stay in the hotel there and then learn how a multi-day trip would be for you. Like go around it twice, and then stay at the hotel, then go around it twice again, and then you'll know how you feel. And this way, if it doesn't work out so well, you're pretty close to the hotel. So the risk is less from my standpoint. And being an accountant, we're kind of conservative and not very risky. Generally, I met some risky accountants, and generally we're more conservative. And these areas in Greenville are, oh wow, all the pit bulls again. These guys are, the trails are gravel is one, it's mostly gravel. And I haven't been on gravel trails yet. Only dirt, sand, and pave. And a little bit of gravel next to a garbage can. That's about it. No gravel trails. So I don't know how well I can do in those. We'll see. And the other ones are mostly paved. So that might be interesting to do out there. Now up in the Greenville area, once I can get up there, they have trails that travel 58 miles from one end to the other end of it. So then you were looking at 116 if you wanted to do a round trip. I don't think I could do 58 miles in one day. So in that case, I probably would have to camp along the ways. But maybe I could do 58 miles one day. That'd be one of the things to learn. But just thinking about it, I don't think I'd want to do 58 miles in a day. That's another thing. You have to at least want to do it. All right, I don't even know if this thing's still recording. I should look. Yeah, it says it's still recording. Before, when I've been this long, it has cut off on me, so it's got to be close to cutting off. It was fully charged, but that doesn't mean it can last all that long. Okay, well, those are my adventures today. So, thanks for coming on my ride with me. I had a couple other things to talk to you about, but this is getting way too long. I didn't know I would spend so much time talking and not getting through stuff. So we can pick it up next time. All right, see everybody then.